Usually when we talk about personal growth or like building a life, there is this massive unspoken expectation that you are building a foundation.
Oh, absolutely. It's exactly like constructing a house.
Right. Every mistake you make, every triumph you experience, every heartbreak you survive, they are the
Yeah, you
bricks.
stack them up.
You stack them up year after year, and eventually you have this sturdy, well-worn, complex structure called you.
Right. It's a deeply um, accumulative view of human existence.
Yeah.
We're fundamentally taught that we are the sum of our experiences. It's how we learn. It's how we protect ourselves from making the same mistake twice.
Which is how we form our identities, really.
Exactly.
And it's incredibly comforting, isn't it? Like, it
Right.
makes the pain feel worth it. When something terrible happens, we tell ourselves, well, at least it served a structural purpose.
Nice. Another brick.
But then you encounter a philosophy that walks right up to that carefully built brick house with a giant wrecking ball.
A massive wrecking ball, honestly.
Today, we are taking a deep dive into an essay that does exactly that. It's titled, Forget Yesterday, Leave the Past Behind.
Yeah. Written by a thinker named Sui Feng.
Right, on October 2nd, 2012, and the translation we're looking at was edited by Kinyu.
A really fascinating text.
It is. The mission of our deep dive today is to explore this truly radical philosophy on letting go of the past.
And we should clarify, not just the bad stuff.
Right. I want to be clear right up front. We aren't just talking about letting go of the trauma, the regrets, the grudges. We are talking about letting go of the good parts, too.
Which is, yeah, it's wild.
The ultimate goal is to live a lighter, more present life. Okay, let's unpack this because the sheer uncompromising nature of this text is just wild.
It really is a complete paradigm shift. And honestly, it's a massive shock to the modern system.
Oh, totally.
Because think about the world you live in right now. You are constantly told to learn from your past, you know, heal your inner child.
Honor your history. Yeah.
Exactly. Honor your history and even build your personal or professional brand based on your unique origin story.
Everybody needs an origin story now.
But this essay looks at all of that and advocates for the exact opposite. It frames all of that historical identity as a trap.
A trap. Wow.
Yet the text asks a really uncomfortable question. What if nostalgia, even the warm, fuzzy, comforting kind, is actually the very thing holding you back?
That is the core tension we are wrestling with today. So let's start with the inventory.
Okay.
What exactly are we supposed to be forgetting, and why on earth is it weighing us down so much?
Well, Xuan comes right out of the gate,
Yeah.
stating that all past events, and he lists regrets, disappointments, infatuations, and joys, joys too, have all become, quote, fleeting clouds.
Fleeting clouds.
And he is hyper-specific about the scope of this. It's not just the bitter memories and the remorse that causes pain.
Which is something most of us can easily agree on, right? Like, no one wants to carry around the memory of a humiliating failure.
Exactly. But the essay specifically states that recalling the sweetness of moonlit strolls and gatherings with friends also brings sorrow.
Which sounds completely counterintuitive. I mean, I like to think of life as a long backpacking trip,
Right. A journey.
Yeah, and it makes total sense to me that you'd want to periodically stop and drop the heavy rocks out of your bag. The grudges, the toxic relationships.
The incredibly embarrassing thing you said at a party 5 years ago.
Yes, exactly. We all want to leave those heavy rocks by the side of the trail.
Sure.
But Xu Feng is telling you to throw out your favorite souvenirs, too.
Mhm.
He's telling you to toss out your comfort blankets, the photographs of your best days,
Right.
the memory of your highest achievements. Because in his view, weight is weight.
Everything from the past is framed as a burden on the spirit.
But I have to push back here because this sounds incredibly bleak to me.
How so?
Well, are you seriously telling me I'm supposed to throw out the memory of my wedding day or like a great vacation just because it's quote unquote weight? Isn't remembering the good times what makes the hard times bearable?
Well, what's fascinating here is how the author equates both positive and negative nostalgia with stagnation.
Stagnation?
Yeah, and we really have to look at the psychological mechanics of why he believes that. It's not that he hates good memories.
Okay.
It's that he understands how the human brain uses them.
Hmm.
The author argues that dwelling in the mire of past years actively robs you of the courage to move forward.
The mire of past years?
Right. He says time is merciless and life is inherently harsh. So you are compelled to put on a brave face to continue the journey today.
Right, I get that.
But think about what actually happens when you are constantly looking backward at a beautiful, perfect moonlit stroll that is gone forever.
Oh, I see.
You aren't just enjoying the memory, you are feeling the acute sorrow of its loss.
Yeah.
You are feeling the friction between what was beautiful yesterday and what is difficult today.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. It's the contrast itself that causes the pain. So, if I'm having a terrible Tuesday at work and I spend my lunch break looking at photos from a beach vacation 5 years ago,
You're not actually helping yourself.
no, I'm not actually making my Tuesday better. I'm just highlighting how much my current reality sucks compared to this, frozen, idealized moment from the past.
Right. Yesterday wins and today loses.
Yesterday wins and today loses.
Wow. Precisely. You are draining your cognitive bandwidth and your emotional energy for the present moment by investing it in a ghost.
Big ghost.
And Su Feng uses this incredibly vivid, poetic imagery to describe what we should do instead of clinging to these ghosts.
What did he say?
He says we must let the past rest in the, quote, sediment of memory, buried in the dust of forgotten valleys.
Sediment of memory. That is such a brilliant visual.
It really is.
It makes me think of like a glass of muddy water.
Yeah.
If you just set the glass down on the table and leave it completely alone.
The dirt settles.
Exactly. The dirt eventually settles to the bottom and the water at the top becomes perfectly clear.
Right. But what happens when you go digging into your past?
You stir it up.
Even if your intention is just to retrieve a happy memory, a compliment someone gave you, or a past success to boost your confidence.
Yeah, you stick your spoon in the glass and you stir it up.
You stir up the dirt, the water gets cloudy again.
Because you can't just isolate one memory.
Exactly. You are activating that entire network of past associations, expectations, and lost time.
Wow.
Whether the memory you went looking for was good or bad, he says, let it rest in the sediment.
So just leave it alone entirely.
There is absolutely no need to revisit or linger over it because carrying such a heavy cognitive load makes it impossible to move forward with any kind of ease or grace.
Okay, I follow the logic. I do. But if I successfully dump this entire backpack, like if I let all that sediment settle to the bottom of the glass and I absolutely refuse to stir it up, I'm completely empty.
Right, the blank slate.
Yeah, if I'm not my past, if I'm not my achievements or my traumas, I have no identity. How does the text resolve that vacuum? Who am I today?
Well, this is where the philosophy pivots from taking things away from you to giving you something radically new.
Okay, I'm listening.
To fill that void, the text introduces the concept of a daily rebirth.
A daily rebirth.
Every single dawn is an opportunity to embrace a brand new self with a completely fresh mindset and a renewed posture.
It reminds me of a daily spiritual etch-a-sketch.
An etch-a-sketch.
Yeah, you know those toys? You draw this complex, messy picture, but then you shake it up every single morning, the screen clears entirely, and you start with a completely blank slate.
Exactly. That's a perfect analogy. The text insists that today's self must not be confined to yesterday's mold.
Right.
It explicitly states that hearts that were once scarred have already been made new.
Wow.
Bodies that were once wounded are now healed and whole. The old self has drifted away like falling leaves.
So you're literally not the person who was hurt yesterday.
No, that person is gone.
But here's where it gets really interesting, because this isn't just a nice, comforting metaphor that you read on a greeting card, right?
No, not at all.
Sui Feng applies this strictly and literally to how we are supposed to interact with the world. He brings in a spiritual dimension.
Right, the greatest creator.
Yes, mentioning that as messengers of the greatest creator, we remain, quote, virginal in his eyes.
Which is a strong word to use.
It is, meaning the universe doesn't see your rap sheet of mistakes. As long as our hearts are new, we are completely renewed, turning life into a pristine land waiting to be explored.
And this raises an important question about how we view ourselves in modern society.
Oh, absolutely.
Specifically, how much of our core identity is tied up in our own suffering?
Yeah.
Because the author has very strict, uncompromising preferences based on this philosophy of being completely renewed.
He really does.
He states quite bluntly that he literally does not want to hear people recount past hardships or lament over bygone sorrows.
He genuinely says he has no interest in witnessing those who are weighed down by worries.
Yeah?
And he goes a step further. He actively dislikes it when people feign wisdom from their past experiences. That part, that stopped me in my tracks.
It should, because it completely subverts a massive cultural norm.
Totally.
Think about how much modern society prizes experience. We revere the wisdom gained from surviving hard times.
Oh, we build entire brands around it.
Exactly. You see it in social media bios, in reality television, in how people introduce themselves at parties.
Right, like I am the person who survived this terrible illness.
Or, I am wise because I went through this awful divorce. We monetize our healing journeys.
We wear our scars like badges of honor.
We really do. We treat trauma like a credential.
Yeah.
We perform the wisdom of our past trauma to prove to other people that we have depth or that we deserve respect because of what we've endured.
Yes, and Swiffing says, stop.
Stop picking the scab.
Stop picking it. You are healed. If you keep poking the scar to show it off to everyone around you, you are the one keeping it from fully healing into that pristine land he talks about.
Right.
He prefers those who rise from sadness with a smile and face the future with energy.
He admires those who radiate vitality.
And thrive with exuberance, not those who are constantly weighed down by the gravity of their own history.
It asks you to look really honestly at your own life and ask how much of your daily energy is spent performing the wisdom of your past traumas rather than just actually living in the present moment.
The survivor is a ghost of yesterday.
That is a heavy, heavy thought.
If you wake up today, you aren't the survivor anymore. You're just you today.
Just you.
But wait, let's stress test this etch-a-sketch theory.
Okay, let's do it.
Because it's one thing to shake the etch-a-sketch on your own personal bad mood. If I wake up grumpy because I stubbed my toe yesterday, sure, I can let that go.
Easy enough.
But how do you shake the etch-a-sketch when you wake up next to a partner who you had a massive screaming argument with last night? Does Sofeng expect us to just wake up, roll over, and say, who are you? I have no memory of yesterday. How does an etch-a-sketch person have a relationship?
That is exactly the friction point, and the text does not shy away from it at all. In fact, it takes this philosophy to its absolute, most extreme and provocative conclusion regarding human connection.
I'm bracing myself.
The author states flat out that he refuses to remember the events of yesterday, and he has forgotten the people of yesterday.
Wow.
He treasures only the present and values only the people of the moment. He writes this incredibly stark line buds that once blossomed have long since withered.
He even actively tells people not to come to him with gossip.
Right.
He doesn't want to know who likes him or who hates him because, quote, yesterday's hater might be today's friend and vice versa.
He just completely ignores the social ledger of who owes who what.
And that leads to the most radical claim in the entire essay, the one that really jolts the modern reader.
His view on pursuing long-lasting connections.
Yes. He says pursuing eternal friendship or love is the folly of mortals.
Folly mortals.
He says chasing fame is for worldly people, and seeking praise from loved ones is a burden of the mind.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to jump in here again. Wanting eternal love or lasting friendship is a mortal folly.
Yeah. According to him, yes.
Isn't that what basically every single human being on Earth wants? It's the plot of every movie, the subject of every song.
True.
How can we even function in society if we view relationships as this transient and disposable? So what does this all mean? Are we supposed to just coldly walk away from our spouses or our best friends the second things change?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's crucial to understand that the author isn't advocating for callousness.
Okay, good.
And he isn't telling you to abandon people. He's advocating for absolute, unconditional freedom from expectation.
Freedom from expectation.
Yeah. Why do we cling to permanence? Why do we demand eternal love? It's often about control, and it's about fear.
Oh.
The ultimate goal here, as he states, is inner peace, inner joy, and following the predestined relationship with an unrestricted elegance.
Unrestricted elegance. I like that.
By accepting his premise that everything is ever-changing, everything is inevitable, you stop trying to control the people around you.
You stop trying to freeze them in time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think about a 10-year friendship. You might get incredibly frustrated with your friend because they aren't acting like the person they were in college.
Right.
You demand they stay the same. Zhi Feng is saying that when you do that, you are the one in the wrong. You are angry because a withered bud isn't a blooming flower anymore.
Oh, I see. You appreciate the flower while it blooms without taking it as a personal insult when it naturally withers.
Precisely. You don't demand that the universe freeze the flower just for your comfort.
Right.
He uses a fantastic proverb in the text to illustrate this. Yesterday cannot surpass today, and distant relatives cannot compare to close neighbors.
Distant relatives cannot compare to close neighbors. That perfectly encapsulates what he's trying to say.
It really does.
This isn't about ignoring people. It's about radical presence.
Yes.
The distant relative is the past, the memory of who your partner was 5 years ago or the memory of who you were 5 years ago.
Exactly.
The close neighbor is the actual human being standing in your kitchen right now, today.
Right now.
If you demand that a friend or a partner is exactly the same today as they were 10 years ago, you aren't seeing them. You're seeing your memory of them. You're interacting with a ghost.
And by interacting with that ghost, you are entirely missing the person standing right in front of you.
Wow.
You're missing the neighbor for the distant relative. By letting go of the pursuit of eternal anything, you actually free yourself to love and appreciate what is happening right now.
Without the suffocating anxiety of trying to make it last forever.
Right? It removes the massive burden of the mind that comes with seeking praise or worrying about who gossips about you or, keeping score in a relationship.
Yeah.
Because as Feng says, he goes with the flow and remains carefree and at ease. He accepts people exactly as they present themselves today.
Wow. It sounds like extreme Zen Buddhism, but stripped of all the meditation practices and just applied directly as pure cognitive reframing for your daily social interactions.
That's a great way to put it.
It requires an intense amount of mental discipline to not keep score.
It really does.
So, synthesizing all of this, if you actually do it, if you completely forget yesterday, if you drop the heavy backpack full of rocks and souvenirs,
Yeah.
if you let the muddy water settle and you give up the exhausting pursuit of making everything permanent, the text claims your mind becomes untainted.
Untainted, yeah.
It becomes ethereal and graceful. The essay concludes with this incredibly beautiful line: "A heart free of attachments is that of a celestial being."
And that is the ultimate takeaway for you, the listener.
Right.
The goal of this philosophy isn't necessarily to induce literal clinical amnesia where you forget your own name.
Of course not.
It's an invitation to recognize just how much of your present energy, your daily joy, is being taxed by the ghosts of yesterday.
Yeah.
It's about seeing how that heavy backpack, filled with both your bitter regrets and your favorite nostalgic souvenirs, is slowing your pace, breaking your back, and muddying the waters of your present experience.
A heart without clinging attains the celestial realm.
It really challenges you to look closely at what you are clinging to and, more importantly, why you are clinging to it.
It really does. I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over as you go about your day.
Okay.
Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and you actually managed to do this. You successfully dropped the entire backpack of your past.
Everything.
Every grudge you hold against a coworker, every incredible triumph you built your ego on.
Every heartbreak that made you cautious.
Yes. Every piece of hard-won wisdom you've gathered to protect yourself, it's all gone.
Wow.
If you did that, how would you introduce yourself to a stranger tomorrow?
That is the question.
If you aren't your history, who are you? Thank you for bringing such a mind-bending, challenging source to this deep dive.
Oh, it was a pleasure.
Keep questioning those assumptions, keep exploring, and we'll catch you next time.